Good morning. This is Ray and Kyle. We're on location this morning at the Morning Thunder Coffee Shop on 3rd Street. We're in the Morning Thunder Plaza.
Well, it's the courtyard.
Courtyard,
It's
that's
over
what it
here
is.
at 619
Plaza's bigger
3rd
than a
Street.
courtyard,
That's
isn't it?
right. Well, this is a very nice courtyard. I know that the family come in here and we eat here at the Morning Thunder. There are other businesses in here. There's a salon. That's nice. But there's usually artwork that's up and displayed. And actually behind us, I haven't gotten to talk about what it is,
Well,
but it is a nice wooden structure.
This is Turkey Rama weekend, and there will be stuff. That's what this stuff is.
That's what
gonna
this
be for.
stuff is.
When people come down here on Saturday for breakfast, there will be artwork here.
That's right, and we are again pre-recording the show here, and
Just for today, folks.
Because Turkey Rama is going to be pretty eventful. The KLYC Yam Band is going to be out here on 3rd Street.
People are going to get to see the new Yam. It's not the Yam Band. It's the Always Am Band.
Oh, it's the Am Band.
As in Always Mobile. It's a
Always
radio
mobile.
station in a truck.
All right. It's nice.
It really? Oh,
Hey, you've got to come down and see
Oh,
that
man,
here
it
at
works
Turkey
slick.
Rama. So I know that I usually come here for a nice turkey leg because I feel like that's what you're supposed to do at an event called Turkey Rama. But
I have other goals.
You've
I
got
do.
something I don't know about and probably don't need to.
There's a food vendor that comes every year, and I hope he's here this year or she. I'm not sure if it's a he or she, but anyway, it's the genuine German sausage
Oh yeah.
vendor. And this is my once a year treat to me to come down and get a great big roatwurst, one of them big long red
Not
sausage.
just Americanized bratwurst.
No, we're talking the mega hot dog.
All right. And then
And-
everything's stuffed in there.
with
Yeah.
stone ground German mustard and sauerkraut and a big dollop of mayonnaise on the top of that thing. It's when my primary care physician
Ray,
just
that sounds
shudders.
delicious. It sounds delicious, but I can only imagine the juice that dribbles out of there and the cholesterol that it could entice.
Yeah, it's a selection of your finest sodium and fats you could ever want, and I just do it. It's my concession to Turkey Rama. We also go out and get a half a turkey.
Yeah, you get an actual half of a turkey down there at the park. Yeah,
and then take it home and peel it and strip it out and put it in little baggies.
pretty much lasts you until Thanksgiving.
It gets me through the rest of summer with all the enchiladas I can stand.
I love enchiladas, and now you've got
Turkey
the turkey
enchiladas are the greatest.
It
Yeah,
does sound good.
It's fantastic. So, if you're wondering what to do today and you happen to be listening to the show right after the show, come on down and enjoy Turkey Rama. There's a lot going on.
There usually is. That's right.
It's a hoot, and the
And
weather.
if the weather is to hold true,
man.
we're going to have overcast, particularly in the morning, as you say, and then 79 for the high, and that's 76 for the high on Saturday, 79 on Sunday.
Absolutely
So
perfect.
It sounds perfect. It's not a heat wave like we've
No,
been having.
no,
It's
we're-
not going to be 100 degrees.
We're done with that for a little bit.
And aren't we? Because if we looked at the Rufus report here
Yep,
on,
Rufus is.
on OVS.com,
I believe him.
and you have to, especially if you want it to be nice and cool for the weekend and for the week ahead. And I guess the problem that we've been having is the heat that we've had for the past 6 months. It's been holding back some cool air that has been wanting to come in.
Well, if you're looking at TV and you see this bright blue H
Mm-hmm.
setting over, right now it's over someplace past Spokane.
It does not mean hot.
No, that's a high pressure front.
High pressure.
It's a blocking ridge. It's the same thing that was going on all winter long, so that we had this nice little mild winter. You guys had the nice little mild winter.
Well, you still had a nice mild winter also.
Well, yeah, I did.
But yes, and it
me
was because
and my styrofoam tube in the pool.
and it's because we had this big ridge of
Yeah.
high pressure keeping this cold stuff from coming down. Well, that's what's been happening still,
Yep.
and that's why we've been having this heat, because no cool can come down from
No.
from Santa Claus in the north or
Yep,
something.
from out of the Gulf of Alaska, where we should be getting our nice, cool air the onshore flow.
You love saying that.
I love saying onshore flow because that is like a short way of saying air conditioning.
Yes.
And
Rufus actually, he points that out here. If you've been missing the air conditioning that you're used to here in July, then this is going to be the week for it. So as we were saying, it's going to get a little bit cooler, even overcast predicted for this weekend. And then coming up for the following week, it's mid 80s and clear, and it looks like that heat is gone. The plants are going to live it.
All those little yellow suns.
Yes.
That
clear.
means there's
mid-80s.
Like on Monday, there's just a half a cloud.
That's right.
That means that it's going to be a little bit cloudy in the morning, and by noon it's going to burn off, but it'll still be comfortable.
Right.
I won't say cool. I will say comfortable.
And it doesn't get that hot until the late afternoon.
No.
And so you've got to really, particularly when we're talking about gardening, because that's what we do on this show, being a gardening show.
Gardeners should love it.
The plants will love this, as long as you keep up with your water regimen, which I haven't been doing. And the plants are starting to show that. It gets hot, Ray, and then I find it hard to go out there consistently.
Well, I took off for 4th of July weekend, and I watered everything before I left. And when I came back, I realized that I'd just barely got back in time because the zinnia leaves were just starting to sag.
And you can tell.
And they were going they were making really strange sounds. And so I give them a little spritz around their roots, and then let them set overnight with that. And then the next morning, I gave everybody another little spritz. By 7 o'clock, I had everybody done. All the pots were done. And I'll be dadgum if by noon they weren't back. Leaves were up. The flowers were
It's
going.
as though they just needed some water.
They just needed a spritz. They didn't need to be drowned.
Right. Because that's dangerous, right? You don't want to go ahead and you see them all down and then you just dump a gallon of water on there.
We do have an example that we'll talk about after the break.
We're going to need to.
Of really, really bad gardening. On my part, and I admit it, I'm not a perfect gardener.
Wait, what?
You
can be not a perfect gardener, but can you say you're not a perfect gardener?
I can live with that now.
All right, good.
But, and it's just because I occasionally do the absent-minded old guy thing.
I'm not old-minded,
no, you're
others,
not. You're young
still
and vital.
So then my excuse is just laziness.
Okay, that works. I could work with lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the hey?
Because I still have cognitive abilities. You know?
Yeah, no, I have a few black spots there, and occasionally the BB gets hung up on the rust, and then the idea just doesn't roll around anymore.
No, the bearing's broken.
Yeah, the wheel bearing's broken. But anyway, you want to
take a break?
Yep, let's take a quick break.
I think we should, because when we get back, what do you want to talk about? You want to talk about some apples, or you want to talk about this thing that's sitting next to me?
Well, we have to talk about that thing, because this is like my I'm taking myself to the priest for confessional.
And there are so many things that we can talk about with this. So when we come back, we're going to talk about this.
Oops.
But what is it? What flower is it again?
Well, they're zinnias.
They're zinnias.
And they're very resilient, but we'll talk more in a minute. Okay.
So right now you're listening to The Root of It right here on KOYC. We're coming to you on location at the Courtyard, standing right in front of the Morning Thunder Breakfast Eatery. We're also streaming on Facebook, but for right now,
coffee.
We'll be right back. And we're back. You're listening to The Root of It right here on KOYC, 1260 AM. We have Turkey Rama going on, and we also have... I'm going to grab this zinnia that's right here, because when we left, we were talking... It's heavy for not being watered.
No.
So I can only imagine what it must be like when it's actually watered.
Well, it's not...
It's not portable.
That's why it has a little coaster that it rolls around on.
All right.
But anyway, it's just the top part of it is dry.
All right.
And you see all these brown, icky leaves.
I do. And this is, we just take those off if you wanted to, right?
We can actually take... Oh, that one was...
and if I'm going to put this up to the mic because I'm hoping you can...
Yeah.
That's the leaf. It's a little dry. I think the problem was it got a little dry, Ray.
It got a little dry, but really, this was in this condition before I went...
You got leaf hoppers on here too, Ray.
Oh, we're going to talk about them little son of a
Guns.
guns.
That's right. Okay, but let's get to this.
Hippity-skippities.
So what happened is you went away
Anyway,
for the 4th of July,
I w-
and
I was in the middle of a project, and
Yeah.
I carelessly thought, oh, I got this. I was rinsing out a bottle, and I forgot what I had in the bottle, and so I'm just rinsing out this bottle, and I'd used it to actually make soap,
Yes.
and so this was like the second rinse, and so I just poured it on the plant.
So there are many things to talk about with this, and one of those things is when you use soap in a container that you plan on using for plants,
Yeah,
don't do that.
don't do that.
just write it off as something that you're not going
Just
to use.
go ahead and
for
dump it
plants
down
anymore.
the drain,
Yeah.
or pour it on a. You could pour it on a weed.
Yeah.
Apparently, that'll work
Well,
just
when you were
fine.
telling me the story, I was recollecting when you talked about using borax for a weed control or an ant control.
Ant
so I had
control.
assumed that that's what this bottle had been used for, was for the ant control. But
Well,
you were making some soap.
I was making some soap, but
Alright.
anyway.
So you went ahead and you sprayed that into
I
on these.
dumped it into the
dumped
pot,
it in. Dumped it into the pot.
and this is actually fresh soil.
It looks like it could be great if it were wet.
Well, it will be
Yeah.
after I get home. It'll get a little thing, but this Veronica
Mm-hmm.
was
You have a hanging Veronica off of
big
here.
hangy thing all the way around, and the zinnias were just getting ready to pop open,
Mhm.
and
And for the radio listeners, what we're looking at is we've got a 10-inch terracotta pot, and we've got a few zinnias that are about a
there's
foot tall, high up in the air.
4 zinnias left.
And they're the leaves are a little bit yellowing, but more importantly, a lot of them are just brown and dead, as you heard
Yeah,
previously.
they're crispy.
And,
they're
and
crispy
and
critters.
The
Even
reason
on the
that this
Veronica,
happened was because you used a bottle that had, let's just say,
It had
chemicals
soap.
in it, right? And
it
then you
literally
dumped that in here.
It had soap. You have to be careful with
Mhm.
what you pour on a plant.
Yeah.
Now, we talk about using insecticidal soap.
Mm-hmm.
That's because it's mixed to a particular concentrate.
Mm-hmm.
You have to read the label on
Right,
things.
it's a horticultural soap.
This
that's
is an
designed for
example
that.
of what happens when a gardener doesn't read the freaking label.
Or makes their own label and
Or,
forgets
you know,
that they
just
did
goes,
that.
"Eh," you know.
Yeah, which is good. And so the remedy for this is you're gonna put more water in it. They should bounce back because it was just a diluted solution.
Well,
you're hoping, right?
The total remedy was I took everything out,
Yeah.
and I rinsed off the roots, and I put in fresh dirt. That's why it's a little bit dry. It's
So
'cause
you did essentially you did the shebang to
I
make sure it was all cleared
cured,
out. You didn't
yeah.
just
No, I
leave it
didn't-
in there.
I didn't just doink around. I
Alright.
went whole hog. But since I've done that and put new fresh dirt in it, that one bloomed. So I'm assuming that it's happy with its new environment here.
Well, happy enough to say I gotta reproduce before I die.
Yeah.
Because that's
Or
still
rain's gonna kill me.
right again and again, over and over. I'll keep growing back and it'll keep killing me.
Yeah, and this little guy, this is a new one. This one just
Mhm.
popped open.
Well, you've got. Let's turn this around for the viewers out
Yeah.
there on Facebook and YouTube.
That one I think is toast.
No.
Is it?
No, we got a little bit of bloom in
Is
there.
there-
Look at that. That'll come
my
out.
God, there is color in
Yeah,
there. I'll
that's
be
right.
dadgum. Good,
Whereas this one.
good plant.
No, you got a few ones in there too. They probably might not be as pink as you'd like them, as
Uh,
they may have been.
the
Little
next
purple.
ones will be. The
Well-
ones that are down here, they'll be fine.
Wait,
But this is
says you. Says the man who soaks his
is-
plants.
this was a total rejuvenation. It got started over, and I had some leftover dirt from some other projects from Northwest Greenlands,
Mm-hmm.
and so I took the
Sponsor.
old dirt and I just dumped it in the garbage can, and took the zinnias and even the Veronica's coming back.
And again, the Veronicas, they're
This
they're
is
for
gonna be
hanging, but
fine.
it looks like it would also be used for ground cover. It just
It
falls over.
can be.
No?
It can be. It covers up pretty good.
Mhm.
I like it in hanging pots or just to dress side dress a pot.
Side dress in a pot. You
But
want
I-
to give it a little Rastafarian look. You just go ahead and throw in the
It-
Veronica.
Yep, it'll come back,
Yeah.
and it's going to be the dark blue one with the white center,
Oh,
because that was what it was before I
before
before I did, but I did.
Might be a lighter blue.
Yeah, it's going to be a pale bleach blue now.
Yeah.
But anyway, these guys, as horrible as they look right now, I bet you in 2 weeks they're going to look just fine.
We might have to hold you that. Right?
All of this is new leaf.
Yeah.
So it's going to survive, but it was like quick open heart surgery.
So what other the terracotta? So when we were talking about it, you did say that you went away for the 4th of July.
Yeah.
It probably got a little dry. But these terracotta pots are renowned for drying out very quickly. You've got to be nursery caregiver for me. It's not something that you want sitting out there, especially in the direct sunlight, because it'll be dry in a day.
And when you put the drip tray on it, it doesn't help to fill the drip tray with water after all.
It's because
apparently that evaporates quite quickly.
Just as quickly as the terracotta, because it's made to breathe. It's earth. It moves water out of it. And while they have been around for thousands of years, there are things that retain moisture a little bit more effectively than it. But they do look nice and old school, if there is a term for that.
I like them because you know, if you.
But you have to be careful.
You do have to be careful. And you have to be careful in the wintertime. And you know,
good point too.
Because if you put a lot of water in it and it freezes, the frozen dirt will expand and bust your terracotta pot.
That's right.
And so you don't want to, unless your pot is, you know, it's specifically fired for cold temperatures to withstand a certain amount of pressures.
Mm-hmm.
You got to really be careful because you can shatter,
explode things.
Really cute pot.
Yeah.
So you know when you get them, if you get the $39 pots because they're really pretty and they're painted and they're enameled. Those are quick fired pots, so they can bring them up here by the truckload.
My secret to purchasing pots is you get them when they're on 75% off, and they might not be exactly what you're looking for, but you're not paying
True.
a lot for something you put dirt in.
Well,
So
and
weird.
that's really bottom line. That's all you're going to do is put dirt in it.
Yeah.
You know, and kind of hope you can gussy it up with a couple
I'm
of
cheap
plants.
when it comes to buying these, and these used to be very inexpensive. Like, they were the inexpensive go-to.
Yeah.
And now they're more medium range priced for me. Like, I think they might
Like
even
a buck and a half.
Well, no, you know, I mean, this thing right here probably cost about, let's say, $8. I'm assuming, at least.
Brand new.
Whereas back in the day, it would have been a buck and a half. It would have been the cheaper go-to thing. But now they're kitschy, I think, and they're a little bit overpriced for me at being the mid-range priced level of pots.
Yeah, the 3 big pots that I have on my deck,
Mm-hmm.
those were painful to pay for. But
they're artistic, right?
They're extremely artistic, and they're
craftsmanship. They're
good to practically zero.
Yes.
They will withstand really extreme cold temperatures.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got them set up so that I have really good drainage, and that's important
That
because I still have perennials in them that are evergreen.
Mm-hmm.
The rosemaries and the lavenders that I have in there are evergreens, and so they're going to sit out there all winter long.
Yeah. So you
And
don't.
that's
want
why
them.
I went ahead and coughed up some serious bucks for 3 pots, but they're huge pots too. I mean they're like 30-gallon pots,
Right.
and they are definitely on their own little coasters.
They roll around. They come in the garage, don't they, if necessary?
If necessary, I can roll them right in the garage.
Mm.
Yeah. The ones that are down on the sun deck, I can't roll in the garage because that's on the other side of the house, but I can roll them back underneath the overhang, the upper deck, and then I just put a blanket around them.
Yeah, caster wheels come in
Yep.
handy.
Just roll them back up next to the barbecue and cover them up with a blankie if it's going to get under 25.
Yeah. So that was Ray's mistake.
Yeah.
With the zinnias, never too proud to admit failure, especially the ones that you can fix. Those are the easier mistakes to admit.
The more important thing about this is not that I really did the bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
I try to get away with that with the wife too.
Right. But you have a
Hey,
contingency plan, which is your
you gotta-
knowledge.
You got to have a plan B when it comes to a plant.
Right.
With the wife, I got no plan B. I'm just
Right.
I'm just I'm hammered. That's it.
Just be thankful that the solution wasn't stronger with your borax.
I could, yeah. That would have been sad. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Let's take another break, Ray.
we'll take another break.
And when we come back, we have some apple things to talk about, and we can talk about a few more gardener mistakes that are out there, and a few more calendar things. So
Yes.
when we come
Yes.
back, we will get to the root of it right here on KOYC 1260 AM, and then we're also streaming up there on Facebook.